Properties of soil, Lexile 870L. Imagine you woke up this morning and found you had turned into a corn plant. After getting over the shock, you would have to find a suitable place to live and some nutrients. After all, a bedroom is no place for a corn plant. And your usual breakfast of frozen waffles would not be much help either. Where could you find a new home? In the soil. Soil may seem simple, but it's more than just dirt. Different soils have different properties. If you turned into a corn plant, you would need to find just the right spot for your home because every type of soil is not necessarily good for every kind of plant. Take the color of the soil, for instance. You might think that the color wouldn't matter to a plant, but the color tells a lot about what is in the soil. The color of soil can range from black or dark brown all the way to gray or almost white. Maybe you have seen reddish soil on a baseball field, or maybe you have seen black soil around the edge of a pond. These different colors indicate what materials are part of the soil. Red soil contains more minerals from rocks. Usually darker soil has more nutrients for growing plants. So, if you were a corn plant and had to choose a soil to live in, which color would you choose? The texture of soil depends on the size and number of particles that make up the soil. The particles can feel coarse and large, or soft and small. Soils have different amounts of sand, silt, and clay particles in them. Large amounts of sand in a soil make it feel gritty and sharp. A large amount of silt gives soil a texture that is smooth and powdery. Clay makes soil feel smooth when it is dry and sticky when it is wet. Soil with more clay is sticky enough to mold into a shape. You may have played with clay when you were younger. But remember, now you are a corn plant and not a kid. You will have to find soil in which your roots can take hold, stay warm, get nutrients, and grow. Sandy soil warms up faster than other types. If the weather is bad, you would want to find soil that contains some sand, but not too much. There cannot be too much sand in the soil you choose because you will need to think about water. Water retention is the ability of a soil to stay wet. Too much or too little water in soil is equally bad for a plant's health. Remember, the amount of sand, silt, and clay in a soil determine how well it will retain water. Soil that is too sandy holds very little water. Because of this, some desert plants have very long roots that help them get water from deep below the sand's surface. Clay holds large amounts of water. Rice plants thrive in wet environments. In some parts of Texas, clay soil is flooded with water for growing rice. The rice plants appear to be growing in ponds during certain times of the year. But you didn't wake up as a rice plant. You are a corn plant. A corn plant cannot grow in the sandy desert soils or in a flooded rice field. One type of soil does not have enough water, and the other type has too much. So, what kind of soil would you want to live in? You will have to perk up your ears and find the right place. Number 1. The author probably wrote this passage to A. Give advice on what you should do if you turn into a corn plant. B. Tell about the properties of soil in a funny way. C. Persuade you to take care of the soil. D. Tell you how to plant corn. Number 2. Which sentence from the passage expresses the author's opinion? A. A bedroom is no place for a corn plant. B. Maybe you've seen reddish soil on a baseball field. C. Soils have different amounts of sand, silt, and clay particles. D. Soil with clay is sticky enough to mold into a shape. Number 3. If you were a corn plant, which type of soil would you choose to live in? A. Reddish clay soil flooded with water. B. Sandy desert soil that is light yellow in color. C. Dark soil with some sand particles. D. Dry, rocky soil. Number 4. Which of the following materials would be the best for water retention in the 5th paragraph? A. Sand. B. A net. C. Rock. D. A sponge. Number 5. What would be a good heading for the 4th paragraph? A. Properties of soil. B. Soil texture. C. Water retention. D. Growing corn.